Hey, howdy, y'all. Sure is dark in here, huh? This used to be a little brighter. Gonna have to set up my lights. moving right, moving right along here. We're up to chapter 8, chapter 9. These are situations where 8 is when we say about control, we talk about as preserving. You know, in the story when Lot makes it up, they're making it up into this place, the top of the mountain. Remember, they're running away from the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Sodom and Gomorrah is the right and the left sides of our brain, but it's when it's under control of the lower, under the whore, when people are doing things that are abominable towards the Lord. And those are people that live out of their left minds. And that's everybody on earth, okay? Or at least a good number. That's what they allude to here in chapter 8 is that, earth is such a beautiful place to find these ways of making these vessels. There's plenty vessels, and what hardens them up really good is a little bit of fire and a little bit of water. Preserves them. And so whenever, like with the story of Lot, just to touch on that really quickly, his wife, which is the idea that's his spiritual side, is turned into a pillar of salt. Now, this is being preserved. This is the spiritual side of him coming back alive. And he's going to go in and get his fill of some wine as his daughters make him drunk and then have sex with him. Okay? Because they're worried that the world has just been destroyed and they're going to have to repopulate it. Just those three, so they get him drunk. And unbeknownst to him, because this happens to him while he is knocked out, you guys. Because this is his idea of the tent. He's not around. He's not in any situation. These are spiritual stories, you guys. This is not teaching people about incest and stuff like that. Although that's what a lot of people think. And that's something. Well, anyways, it's not something that you could, talk about at the dinner table if you didn't know what it really meant. So this idea of preserving comes in to play at number 8. This is what it means to be brought. This is my place now. This is my kingdom. This world, I rule over this world now. And it's not the outside world. Oh, no. It's you. Once you commit and bring God into you, you built this home, you built this place for him. That's the way this works. I'll go about this in just a minute to show you how that works in our Bible, or in this part of the Bible. But no, there's this. It's this everlasting light that shines down. Is that many are chosen, but many are called, but few are chosen. Talks about that here in number 9 or number 8 and number 9. That it's just that no matter how much you sow, a good farmer is going to take and sow as many things and grow many trees, stuff like that. This is this idea that, that not all of them are going to make it. Not all of them are going to go on the other side. He says there's more people that live or die and constant. This idea of just refeeding this earth, stoking the fires of earth, where there'll be constant gnashing of teeth and all those things that bother you. You'll be spending your lifetime doing them, you're seeing people that have sex. They have sex the rest of their lives. All they do, they're always having sex, So this is the porn industry and things like that. Things, there's murderers out there. All they want to do is murder people. There's witches out there, and all good, bad, whatever. They're all trapped within their own devices, and so you'll see that it's mostly a world for our bodies to just have a great time. This Sodom and Gomorrah, It's a very living thing by our minds bringing about some of the most awfulest things that could possibly happen. And yes, you participate in these things. And what does you all in is that we're not connected to God. And so supposedly after we've done this enough, walked around with this the woman that has brought herself the lower conscious, there is no higher place. And until, and see, we find that even God has done this with us, that he has set us out on this mission. He says that we have the seed in our heart. This seed is our soul, is where the information, this is the word, it's there. It can't go. That's why it says, the something about can come and go, but the earth, oh, that's it. Earth and heaven can pass away, but my word will not. So it's showing how the body can die, but where he has sown what would be sown inside of you, the seed is still there, and it comes back to earth, goes back through a womb, and then rebirth again on earth as a dead person who's not connected, to do it all over again. No matter where he winds up on earth, he's covered. He's covered. We discovered that on my channel by taking this code and using it throughout the world in all these different stories. It's just absolutely beautiful. Even the Hopi prophecy, any place where you see an end of time story or some kind of a doomsday story coming to us from the past, I will give you 99.9% guess that it's one of these stories, that it'll fit right into this, because this is what it means to end your life the way you were and then come over to this other side. But it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of people that get to do this. Even it was saying, even those people that do their works, in due season they call it rain. All right. If you don't get enough rain, and then it comes to that point where you have harvest, right? And when it comes to harvest, make too much rain spoils you. And that would be, living on the outside when we're overdone. And so even when you have really good rain and it comes out, it's not going to take this. It's just, there are more people being locked into this situation on the ground, under control of Lucifer, the energy of Saturn, where they just want you to keep doing the same things over and over and over and over and over, and just keep going over and over and do it some more and over again, and keep going and doing this. This is the power of Saturn. It just don't change. Keep the same thing up. That's why we're looked at as like donkeys and stuff like that. Some kind of, we just don't want to change, stubborn. So I want to just read a couple of this here. We're talking about the book, the second Ezra, chapter 8. 8 is about control. And so what we get out of this is that the Most High had made this world for many, but the world to come for a few. And it talks about that the world giveth of earthen vessels. This is where earthen vessels are made, but little dust come from them. That's the same idea. There's a lot of people down here, but only few can come out of it. This is the only little dust will come out of these. And this, of course, is representing the present world. That there be many created, but few shall be saved. All right? So you're supposed to swallow this down. And let's see, let's keep moving. I'm going to go down towards the bottom parts of this. The interesting stuff is on the bottoms of these stories. We still wind up with 3 loose pieces at the very end, 61, 62, and 63. And that's really a segue into the next story. Is what I'm what I'm determining. And because it's only 3, it's still like, oh, in the meantime, or, all right. So what I wanted to read is down here in the bottom. They're talking about this creature. The creature is the right and left side of our mind. That would be the whatever they are. The creature is going to be represented as mother and father. And that thing, the word, the thing, and that thing that we're talking about, and that thing is our child, is our brother, is our neighbor. That thing is our soul. All right? Yeah, just here's what I was talking about. Let's go to it. I think we're going to start off before it. As I was supposed to check on 41. All right, 41, 42, 43, and 44. This is a world. Remember, all these scriptures are done in 4 fashions, so you can know exactly what part of the body they're talking about, or our psyche, by hooking up the 4 worlds behind me. For as a husbandman soweth much seed upon the ground, and planteth many trees, and yet the thing that is sown good in its season cometh not up, neither does all the planted take root. Even so it is of them that are sown in the world. They shall not all be saved. I understand then, and said, if I have found grace, let me speak. Like as the husbandman's seed perish, if it come not up, and receive not thy rain in due season, or there come too much rain, and corrupt it, even so perishes man also. That means even so man perishes also. If the seed perishes, the man perishes. You have to understand that. Which is formed with thy hand, and is called thine own image, because thou art like unto him, for whose sake thou hast made all things, and likened him unto the husband's seed. The husbandman's seed. God is the husbandman, and Jesus is the vine. We plant this seed. The vine is this, well, let's see if it talks about it. Be not wroth, but spare thy people, and have mercy upon them. For thou art merciful unto thy creature. What he's saying is while all these other people are going around being blasphemous and stuff, they just can't seem to get it. They just don't get it. They don't know it. This is the sins of the father goad onto the child, because it's like, because he just doesn't get it. All right. Don't be ornery with them. And he's not. Only religion, oh my God, your sins are great, you'll never make it into heaven and stuff like that. But you'll find that no matter what you do, and I think that you're forgiven for a pretty good amount of things, because you're expected to kill, you're expected to maim, you're expected to, it says to go out there and increase your borders. That means that go out and fatten up on all of this awful shit that you can possibly fit in you. Because whenever you come inside, we're going to take it all off. We're going to use it as food. We're going to take it, and we're going to dispose of it properly. Very quickly, we're down towards the ends of the story, and it says, so let's see where we can start. For unto you is paradise. Oh, here, let's back it up to 51. 51 is 6, okay? 6 is representing the works. But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. For unto you is paradise opened. The tree of life is planted. The time The time to come is prepared. Plenteousness. That's an interesting. Plenteousness is made ready. The city is builded, and rest is allowed. Yea, perfect goodness is wisdom. This is wonderful because this is 52. 52 is representing 7, and it was like a world and then another world. Beautiful. The root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the moth is hid from you. And corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. Sorrows are past. And in the end is showed the treasure of immortality. You guys, that is absolutely wild. 9 shows up. The treasure is immortality. Let's go back 1 to 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. The root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the moth is hid from you. That means this is everlasting life. And corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. So this is representing 8. The root of evil is sealed up. That means you are now, this ain't going to happen no more. The lower mind has been taken from you. There's no more lower mind. It's been thrown into hell. It's been forgotten. It's over with. It'll be gone. That's the whole idea. It makes me to forget. It's beautiful. And it says here, and therefore ask no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. You know, it just breaks my heart when I think all these people running around. It doesn't break my heart to see some of my friends that are living life and having a good time and making their rent and eating and stuff like that. So that's not affecting them. But when I see the poor and those helpless people on the street, it brings a tear that, this is who these things would come to. This is who God's word would come to. Those that are broken. Says, and therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, through scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteousness, and said in their heart that there is no God, yea, and that knowing they must die. For as things as said shalt receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them. For it is not his will that men should come to naught. For it was not his will that men should come to naught. But to they which be created, that defile the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him that prepared life for them. And therefore is my judgment now at hand. These things have I showed. All right, so he's just talking about the next one. Well, that was kind of moving. Sometimes I don't know what gets a hold of me. I do care. Even for our missing friend, Birdie Bird, She cries a lot. And it's just sad. And if she could come about with some of this understanding and wisdom, she could get past that. She could join us on the other side. I wish I could take a number. How many of you guys are actually on the other side? Like, is any of this stuff working? I'm rattling off the truth. There's no other way that you can take this, other than wrong. But anyways, so chapter 8 is this idea of, fixing you to where this is you come to this point in our life after many lives to correct ourselves. That's what judgment is about. And the outside world fears judgment. They know themselves. They know and they don't trust themselves. Not even enough to say that I don't got God in me. I couldn't possibly have God in me. I'll be worshiping myself. You know, I feel that all the time. I feel that statement all the time. So you're just worshiping yourself? How do you worship yourself? Other than taking care of the kingdom because you're housing God. You know, you got mom and dad in there. They don't come in to take over. This is not you. You've already had someone take you over. You've had you've been following around with Father. You have no control over your life. It's totally in control of the outside world. You're being given back your life, not taken over. It's a partnership. This is taking on counsel. I know the law. I observe the law, and I observe his counsel. I do all those things that you're supposed to do. And do you see in this part of the book, it says even if you do all these things, you still may not make it up there. You know, it's only for a few that this goes about. So you know, it's still cool. Still try. Go up there and knock on the door. I've heard mixed messages now through my life is that everybody will get this chance to go through this change. But here, and I've been wondering about it, there's a whole lot more dead people on this earth than ever come alive from it. It's absolutely wild. But anyways, I love you guys. I'll see you in a little bit. Hope you got something out of this.